Valley. A News Channel 2 special is brought to you by The Woodshed, Oklahoma's largest furniture restoration center, and by your Northeastern Oklahoma State Farm agents.
Good evening. I'm meteorologist Gary Shore, and whether you've lived in Oklahoma all your life or just moved to our state, by now you've experienced the power of our spring storms. You can tell when they're coming. The air hangs on you just like a wet blanket. The winds seem to really blow a little bit harder, and the air is so hot and damp you can break a sweat just walking outside for a minute. On those nights, you can feel what Oklahomans call tornado weather. And this evening, we're taking a special look at Oklahoma's severe weather. In particular, one of the most violent nights in Oklahoma's weather history. April 26, 1991, the weather turned violent about supper time in north-central Oklahoma. Probably 4 or 5 miles south of Billings. It's not a tremendous tornado, but it is on the ground. Holy mackerel! This tornado has been on the ground only a few minutes, but already homes have been destroyed, and the lives of those in its path changed forever. The storm developed about an hour ago. Still a youngster, really, but it's maturing every minute. We continue to track it from a safe distance, watching it grow. We got to drop south, I think, fast, very fast. A large tornado on the ground. It's a mile away from us. This is about an F4 on the scale. I would estimate an extremely damaging storm. It is moving east-northeast across north-central Noble County, very close to the small town just west of Red Rock. And it looks like it's going to come very close to Marlin.
We interrupt our programming for this Channel 2 News Weather Bulletin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist John Slater. Severe weather continues to develop across portions of the viewing area. And Gary Shore has been following this storm for hours and is now with us, going to join us live on the phone. And Gary, where are you now and what are you seeing?
John, it's a really large tornado. Folks across the northeastern part of Noble County, you are in the path of this storm, and you need to be watching very carefully. The storm is very plainly visible, though, in open country here. This is an unbelievable sight. It looks like an F4 tornado. It's just about a mile north of us. We're actually out of danger, believe it or not. A farmhouse north of Red Rock is no match for the 280-mile-per-hour winds. With that kind of power, it's a wonder anything is left standing at all. Rescue personnel arrive minutes behind the tornado, as do family members. Afraid loved ones might still be trapped under the piles of broken lumber. Thank goodness no one was home. Rescuers will move on to the next farmhouse, and then the next. No doubt about that. Okay, point this out for me. Okay, the storm is essentially right here, okay? I put it just west of Ralston and Fairfax. These winds are increasing northeast of Stillwater, and we're just starting to get a little hint of rotation, but not really a whole lot. But there was a spotter that said he saw a funnel, so that's where the warning was really based on. Let's look at Doppler radar real quickly for you, and we can see a little bit of circulation there in northeastern sections of Payne County. It doesn't look incredible, but we have had spotter reports of at least a small possible tornado. So up the hill? All right, I'm going. Look out the window, Gary. John, we are in the middle of baseball-sized hail. It just broke through our windshield here. We're on the Cimarron Turnpike. I'm getting very concerned that the storms in Payne County, if they turn east the way this tornadic storm off in southwest Osage County has done, that they could threaten, the storm from Payne County could threaten the metro area. Very severe weather off to our west. Here's the latest storm surge radar.
This thunderstorm right now moving out of northeastern Payne County up into portions of Pawnee County.
They're going to have the satellite truck there. Now, Gary and our crew's been tracking the tornado that's been on the ground that cut across Osage County. They were going to go to Pawhuska, but now they've hit the Cimarron and are heading back here.
Baseball-sized hail from this hill.
Of a storm earlier.
Is that it? Yes, we were right there. That's close we are to that thing.
Don't know exactly where it is this time. This is a shot by a crew with Gary Shore and a producer and an amazing tornado there. Incredible. It's now east of the Prue area, moving easterly at about 25 or 30 miles an hour towards Turley.
Tornado 7 northwest of Keystone Dam.
Okay, a tornado now confirmed 7 northwest of Keystone Dam.
And all 10 of us just held on to each other and kept from getting sucked out. 6 cars, at least 6 cars in this area who were traveling or parked on this highway were overturned. The tornado actually lifted them up. We do have an unconfirmed report of a death. That would be a person that was inside a car when the tornado came through and overturned the car. Also, we have unconfirmed reports of 2 injuries. You were in your car and you got out of your car when you saw the tornado. And we got down into the whistle about 10 minutes before the tornado touched down right through here, and you can see that it took all 3 of our vehicles right off the road and into the woods there. It was more tremendous than anything you can imagine in any amusement park, I'll tell you that much.
None of your family was hurt, though?
No, just a couple of bumps on the heads, but everybody's safe, and forget the cars.
You knew what had happened.
I looked out of the hole and all of our cars was gone, you know, which I expected that anyway. And next thing we heard was a man hollering over in the woods over there, and he's wanting help.
I couldn't even imagine the power and the strength of that old Mother Nature doing this.
Tom, they need to chopper south and west of their present location along that tree line.
The remainder of this trailer is right over here in this tree line.
What we'd like to do is after we clear the other areas, then we can come back and start concentrating on this wilderness area.
Maybe we'll have some daylight then.
Okay, we ought to have daylight by then.
Might as well. Got anything? Huh?
Check it, buddy.
Check it. Come on. Check it, boy. Good boy. Good boy. Everybody back in your cars. We're going to convoy to the jump-off point. Once we get to the jump-off point, then we're going to go on foot.
The Lord was with us, I guess, because where we were at, there's just a little debris and everything else is gone.
My car went over this house and is sitting in a field about a quarter mile off. No, I just didn't think it ever happened to me.
Yeah, sure.
You ever seen anything like this before?
I never have. You know, this is the worst I've ever seen, and it's kind of devastating.
The dog is fine. He's scared, but he's a real lucky dog. His name's Dusty.
My mom was trapped in the car upside down behind the bait stand, which is no longer there. I had to go get the city backhoe to pick the car up so they could cut her out. They're flying my dad by lifeline to St. Francis.
This whole community's going to be in shock for a long time to come.
Is for people that are in the Oologah area to take shelter right now. A tornado in your area. If you're in a mobile home, just run outside and get in a ditch. Don't stay in that mobile home, and please don't stay in your vehicle if you value your life.
The town of Oologah has taken a direct hit. This town of Oologah has taken a direct hit of the tornado.
Need some help right here on this one?
Right here. Further up? I tell you, drive. They're going to have to get some people on foot in there walking.
But you can't recognize the road up there. And I've not got past just to that road as far north as I've gotten.
Our damage area is so scattered right now, and we've got propane tanks that are leaking.
barely had time to dive and get in underneath the blankets with them before just a matter of seconds it was gone.
We were in the cellar and we heard this terrible roar. It's like a sound I've never heard before, but it was, I just can't describe it.
She is just one of hundreds of victims on this violent night of storms. But in a few hours, night turns to day, and we see the magnitude of the destruction. We'll be back after this.
Are unsightly blemishes forcing you to hide the condition of your favorite furniture? Call the Woodshed and uncover the natural beauty of your favorite pieces. The Woodshed's mobile van service makes it convenient for you to eliminate those unsightly scratches, nicks, and burns. Experienced craftsmen utilize the latest technology in restoring the beauty and protection to your fine furniture.
Call us for your next project and experience my pledge of satisfaction.
For a free estimate at home or in the office, call the Woodshed, 258-WOOD.
And the laughter, all the love that they bring when they come into your life, it can change everything. One smile says it all.
There's someone nearby who understands life insurance and all the ways your needs can change. Your good neighbor State Farm agent.
In Tulsa, see Randy Black. In Bartlesville, Jim Bushyhead. And in Miami, Buddy McCarty. Or see your local State Farm agent.
Saturday, April 27th. At first light, tornado victims get their first look. What was home hours before reduced to a pile of scrap. In the darkness of devastation, destruction, and death, illuminated by the dawn of a new day.
It looks like something that you have to clean up with a bulldozer.
We got underneath the stairwell last night. That old house has been there over 100 years. And it did have an upstairs to it. We just got it all fixed up. We bought this place. It was a piece of junk, and everything we had, and then some went into fixing it up.
That a place used to be nice. Amen.
Probably the best that I could say about a building is that it has major damage, and the others are completely gone. We've got some that have just been leveled and others that are extensively damaged. It's very, very extensive damage.
What is still usable? Is there
nothing
from a classroom standpoint?
Nothing. There are no buildings here. About the best I can say for any building is that it's either heavily damaged or pretty much destroyed.
When I got off the phone, we started back around the corner there, and you could hear it coming towards us, and we knew better than get outside because it was coming from that direction. You could see that some of the debris and stuff coming at us, so we just run back around there and got under a mattress and held it down.
He said he tried to hold on to something because everything started moving, but he couldn't. There wasn't nothing to hold on to. He said that he felt like the wind was about 80 or 90 miles an hour. And then something hit him on the head, back of the head. We'll pick this up and clean up, and like a dog, we'll pitch tent, we'll get a trailer, we'll do something. We got each other, and he came out alive, that's all that matters to him.
His friends, neighbors, went to school with David, and everybody up here knows him. He's been around here all his life, and I have too, and just friends helping friends. That's what's going on out here this morning. There isn't anybody out here getting paid for anything except for the electric company and the telephone company, utility people like that. And everybody else is just out here pitching in. Well, we're just trying to get what's salvageable out of David's store and get it someplace where he can keep it until we get this cleaned up and he can get built back.
Okay. I knew that we had lost everything because we had a room over the cellar and I could see the lightning through the vent, and with that I knew that everything was gone. I just can't get over it.
This was a big toy box, and it's unfortunate. I had a car collection in here and airplanes and all that, but and the people that lost their homes, or that's the ones that I feel for.
Clear over to that tree. It's all laying there. You can see all the kitchen stuff. And it was, and you see the brick wall here? Yeah, so.
Lordy.
So what do you think about all this?
I think this is more than I bargained for when I came to Oklahoma.
Her sentiments are shared by many of us who've lived in the state for a long time. And the storms that roared through April 26th were more than most of us bargained for. But the experience left us with some lessons learned. One of those lessons simply reinforces an old tornado safety rule. Inside a car is no place to be during a tornado. Of the 5 people that died here in Oklahoma during the storm, 4 of them were killed in their cars. A Wichita man on the Cimarron Turnpike was killed when his car was picked up off the road and thrown 100 yards into a field. And in Copan, a woman died when her car crashed into a building. Another lesson learned, and this one we've all heard before, if you live in a mobile home and severe weather approaches, get out and find sturdier shelter. Believe it or not, you're better off leaving your car or mobile home and lying in a ditch. Now, not all of our lessons deal with safety. Scientists learned quite a bit during the storm, too. Researchers from the University of Oklahoma set up a portable Doppler radar less than a mile from one of the largest tornadoes ever in the state. And preliminary data indicate wind speeds of 287 miles an hour, making that the fastest wind speed ever measured on planet Earth. That gives you some idea just how powerful tornadoes really are. Every time I see the video of that huge tornado, I'm still amazed. Trying to describe the experience of being that close continues to be difficult. It was a combination of incredible excitement and a feeling of awe, being in the presence of a tremendous power, an unbelievable force. But that's me. I'm a meteorologist, a scientist. What was it like for the rest of the crew? Earlier, I sat down with photojournalist Denise Dotz, and we watched the video again, but for the first time together. What did you think when you heard those sirens going off?
I wasn't real sure because you couldn't actually see the funnel cloud at that point, so you didn't really know were we heading into it, were we heading away from it, and how to get where we could get some shots of it without being in danger.
It was off to the south of us in the rain and hail, and so that's why we had to back off to where we could get the better visibility and make sure we could get out in front of it.
At this point, I got really pretty excited right here when I actually first started seeing it. I thought, my God, we're actually going to have what we've been looking for 2 days. And I kept thinking, can we stop? Can we stop? I want to get some pictures. I want to get some pictures. And you kept saying, no, we got to drop south. We got to get ahead of it.
Right, for safety's sake, to get way out in front of it.
I had lived in Oklahoma all my life and seen tornadoes, but I'd never seen one pull stuff up off the ground like that.
That's where it is starting to work its way up to becoming a maxi tornado. And when I saw that, I knew that it was going from about F3, which it is now, that it was going to make a 4 or a 5. We're beginning to realize that it's not moving northeast as advertised, but it's taking that turn more towards the east. And that means we're going to have to really hustle to have time to safely drop south in front of it. Yeah. So it's when we get into this zone here that we have our best chance to photograph it on the other side of the tornado. And then here you can see how the rain and hail is wrapping back around it. And that's what produces the hook on the radar. And at this point, there's no precip, just a few intermittent large hailstones.
Which to me, that's real fascinating, because you always think of severe weather. You think of rain, lightning, hail, all the severity that comes with the storm. But it was actually very calm where we were.
That's right. At this point, being in the path of the tornado, it is fairly calm. And people talk about that. The rain and the hail passed, and then suddenly it sort of calms down. And that's the time when you are right nearly in the path of the storm.
Like this area here?
Yeah, right in here. This is about a 1/4 mile. And see, what I'm looking at is the south side of the wall cloud. And knowing that to be a mile away from that, you're out of the zone of danger. Whereas a mile on this side, you never know. Another funnel might come down, or a telephone pole could drop on you or something.
And that's really a unique situation, too, being able to visually watch a tornado and give warnings over the radio and over the television to get people to know about the danger of the storm.
Yeah.
I never really thought about being too close. My main thought was, I want to get out, I want to get my tripod, and I want to get some extreme tight shots and show what this is doing, because I knew what we had was something I had never seen on video. I had never seen anyone have this close-up video, and I thought, I want those tight shots. I want to see it sucking stuff off the ground. And that's what I was waiting for, was my chance to jump out and get the shots that I wanted to be able to get.
At this point, it's really growing fast. It's going beyond a quarter of a mile wide, towards a half.
Trying to hang on to my camera with the winds that were coming off the tornado, to me, were very difficult. I'm on the tripod, I'm bent over the camera, I've got it pulled into my body as tight as I can, trying to get these extreme tight shots and then be steady, but the winds just would not allow it to be steady. You can tell by the winds coming off the wheat here what the winds were doing.
And this tight shot was how it would appear to someone that is less than a mile away, maybe a quarter or a half a mile. If you see something like this, that means you're so close that you just got to get in the ditch fast.
It's incredible to think of the damage that a storm like this can do.
I was awed by what I saw. I wasn't frightened by it. I mean, my feeling was that it was not going to come and hit us. You go out and see something like this, and you see some of the actions that go around, the wind motions around this tornado, and you say, we don't know anything yet.
Need some help right here on this one?
We're setting a triage up 2 miles north of base.
Take it, boy. Good boy.
And it's just a nightmare. I mean, the worst nightmare you can imagine.
Next thing we heard was a man hollering over in the woods over there. He wanting help.
The dog is fine. He's scared, but he's a real lucky dog.
The remains of this trailer is right over here in this tree line.
100 yards north of those tanks is where we're going to start, and then go from there. All right.
Tom, they need the chopper south and west of their present location along that tree line.
Babe? Come here, babe.
This was a big toy box, and the people that lost their homes, or that's the ones that I feel for.
We just got it all fixed up. We bought this place. It was a piece of junk, and everything we had and then some went into fixing it up. And I've got horses that are dead, horses we've got to put down. But we were saved. Good Lord was with us.
The tragedy of those 2 days in April lives not only in the memories of the victims, but in all of us. We've experienced Mother Nature at her very worst, and the helpfulness and vitality of Oklahomans at their very best. Because we live in Tornado Alley, what we've seen will happen again. We just can't say exactly when. But because of who we are, no doubt we'll bounce back then as well. Thank you for joining me, storm tracking in Tornado Alley. Good night.
Family after family made State Farm the largest insurer of cars and the largest insurer of homes. They made State Farm one of the largest and fastest growing of all life insurers, too, because families are discovering the best agent for their car and their home and their other precious possessions is a State Farm agent.
Sanders, of course, leads everyone as he